What's going on, guys? We are the Hobby Homies. Today we're going to be helping you decide which game is for you, 40k or Grimdark Future by One Page Rules.
That's right. If you're playing a mass battle sci-fi game, which one do you want? So the first thing that most people consider is cost. We'll break this down as directly and as comparably as we can because they both have very different pricing structures.
Indeed they do.
So Warhammer 40k could cost you anywhere between 850 USD to 1150 USD for an entire army of miniatures.
Okay.
Those are real numbers.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
This isn't trust me, bro.
No.
Those are real numbers. I've done the math.
Yeah.
Not to mention that you will also be paying between 80 to 150 USD in rule books and associated books.
Yeah.
So there's that. Obviously, you can purchase secondhand armies or use proxies and 3D prints. However, the culture of Warhammer 40k is that most people prefer WYSIWYG. Like what they see on the table is what they're fighting against, because there's so many different rules that it's really important for them to know what they're playing against.
Of course, yeah. It's like what weapon is what.
Correct.
So you want to, if you're looking at a plasma gun, you're expecting a plasma gun.
Correct.
Not a las cannon.
Or something that could be either.
Yeah.
Whereas in One Page Rules Grimdark Future, the game is built on the concept of you are probably using proxies.
Yeah.
Originally, the game is designed so that you could bring your old Warhammer 40k armies across and play a lighter system. It's evolved since then. The premise is the same, but it would be, what's the word? It would be inaccurate to not give you the actual cost of buying models.
Yes.
So for One Page Rules, if you wanted to buy a 2,000 point army, that would cost you about 280 USD.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you a direct comparison. If you want models shipped to your door that you can play this game with, those are the cost differences. However, all of the rules for One Page Rules are free.
They are free, or they're available for about $5 on
a Patreon
Vault.
Oh,
or
okay.
a Patreon tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the core rules that you actually need to play the game and the list builder itself is all free. So whilst most people playing One Page Rules come from other games and thus have already got models,
Yeah.
we wanted to give you like a direct comparison. You can go on there, you can go on My Mini Factory, click buy physical models, create a 2,000 point army for about 280 USD.
And that's for a 2,000 point army. You could
Correct.
play 500 points.
Yeah.
1,000. You could play as large or a smaller game as you would like. Obviously, there are sort of ideal game sizes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's your game. You play it how you want to play it.
Yeah, and I think, like you mentioned, so like alternate activations help you when you're playing smaller games. So I think if you play 1,000 points of, for example, Warhammer 40k, it's quite clear it's built as a 2,000 point game.
Yeah.
When you play 1,000 points of One Page Rules because of the alternate activations, that feels like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the costs.
Going on from costs, let's talk about accessibility. Now, both games are accessible online, right? Warhammer 40k, generally, I would say it's probably more accessible in terms of there are physical places you can go and buy the models, the rules, everything in either a Warhammer branded shop or a friendly local gaming store. Where with One Page Rules, it is more online. It's be pretty hard to find physical models printed in store.
Yeah.
So 40k definitely wins out there, but the free rules of One Page Rules is where that really shines.
Yeah.
That is available, online, or for as little as like $5 or $10 for their core advanced rules, compared to, like we said, $80 to $100 of books.
Yeah.
It's
so true too, because if you're talking about accessibility and being able to like walk into a store, buy a product, and find opponents, that's 40k.
Yeah.
And it has that in droves, and it's untouched from other titles in that regard.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about, I've already got miniatures, and I just want to play this game with a mate, we want to do that right now.
Yeah.
That's One Page Rules.
You just
can build
jump
your
online,
list.
get your PDF, the list builder, which is hands down the best list builder out there.
Yeah.
Kick skulls every time. But if you walk into a physical store, you're gonna get you're going to see 40k on the shelf.
Another part is to events. Because 40k is so large, you're always going to be able to find 40k events, players in your local area, etc. So like, I suppose that's more about the community, which we'll talk about. But yeah, it's so much easier to find a game of 40k.
Yeah.
However, we've discovered recently that that's picking up for one-page rules.
Yep.
And I think because the accessibility is so easy, there are more events popping up. So yeah, that's accessibility. So let's talk about the rules. You've bought one of the games maybe, or you're thinking about it. It's accessible enough to you. Let's talk about the rules. So 40k is one of the deepest, crunchiest, widest breadth rule systems in existence for tabletop games. It has codexes upon codexes and books upon books and tomes and stratagems. And if you're looking to just play one game every week for the rest of your life, you don't want anything else, 40k is probably the system for you because it has that. You can play that every single week against new opponents, find different combos of stratagems, different units that work well together, and you're gonna almost never touch the ceiling of what you can achieve with the rules.
Yeah.
Having said that, the rules are often outdated before you get your hands on them. They're printed in China 6 months before they hit the stores. They've often been errated before they reach our Western shores. And the way that they manage the rules, forcing you to buy a codex of which you can then upload the code into your paid app subscription just so you can unlock a list builder, pales in comparison to One Page Rules, as we mentioned, that has a free list builder with everything that you need in it. You don't even have to play the game. You can just jump on there right now. It's One Page Rules Army Forge. You can Google it.
Yep.
Jump in there, grab your 40k army, start building lists and whatnot.
Yep.
And that's all free and ready to go and updated live. So when you click on a rule in the Army Forge, that's the current ruling for that rule, if that makes sense. As
there's no cross-referencing it between, oh, hang on, this mission pack came out.
Yeah.
That changed the way cover works.
Yeah.
What's the new rule there?
Or any FAQs and erratas. If you go and download the free rulebook for One Page Rules, for example, that's the current rulebook with all the updated rules because it's all digital and modern. So yeah, there's no obsolescence built into that, which is nice. So in terms, however, it's also entirely what you're looking for as an individual player. If you want light rules that OPR has, it's definitely the game to play if you want to play other games.
It's got that, straight away it's light, but it's got that option of maybe going medium. You can start throwing in all the extra actions and all the extra stuff. But yeah, it's definitely the game to play if you're a hobby butterfly like most of us, and you like to sample all different kinds of games, where 40k you can just dive right into and be fully immersed, and that can be the only thing that you live and breathe. Yeah,
and even if you did just live and breathe 40k, if you only played it once a week, you wouldn't touch everything that you need to touch, which is a really cool draw for people. Obviously, it just has that cost, and it obviously has that cost and sort of outdated workflow. There's also the you go, I go rule system where you might be waiting an hour for your opponent's turn to finish or 30 minutes or whatever before you get to do anything except for roll your defensive dice. Whereas in One Page Rules, its strongest draw is that it's alternate activations. I move this unit and resolve it fully. You move your unit and resolve it fully. So you're constantly interacting with the game, which is nice. Okay, we touched on it before, but we're talking about community now. So when it comes to gaming clubs, 40k is represented in probably every gaming club across the globe. There's Warhammer stores or GW stores or friendly local gaming stores that have scenes that run on a Thursday, Friday night, and you better believe they're playing 40k. One Page Rules has a much smaller but still growing presence. We're starting to see One Page Rules events. One Page Rules is becoming a popular thing at gaming groups around here. Usually starts off with 2 players, and then a couple of weeks later there's 4, and in some of the clubs that I haven't been to for a while but been to in the past, it's kicking off and you're getting 10 players of a night. So much smaller scene community wise, but
be the change that you want to see in the world.
Yeah, facts. Also, I've noticed the communities are very different in the way that they, I mean, just the ones that we've interacted, the way they play the game as well.
Yeah.
So like with 40K players, they're often they're either preparing for a tournament or they're testing out a list.
It's basically training.
Essentially,
They're at training.
And there are narrative players that are really trying to do these cool things and fun things, but they're all sort of mixed in together. Whereas I think the casual nature of Page Rules and Grimdark Future comes through in the way that you play against people in the community.
Yeah.
They're all sort of like-minded in that, because, as we mentioned earlier, it's the game if you want to play other games.
Yeah.
They're all playing other games. They're just here because they have some cool models that they want to bring to the table. So it's also the way that they interact with the game. And again, it goes back to what we mentioned where it's like, if you're playing one game and you're fully immersed in it, 40K is the game for you. The community is vibrant and always playing. And if you want to train for an upcoming tournament or play it, there's so many different ways to play it. And then you've got Page Rules, which is light, casual. The games may be harder to find.
Yeah.
Let's talk about models. Let's start with 40K as we have in each of these little segments here. 40K has the most beautiful models that exist on planet Earth, with the exception of Medbury Miniatures, we can check out in the link in the description below.
That's one.
Thank you. And they have also the largest range of miniatures in existence. They have decades of miniature creation history.
Mm-hmm.
They are the untouched GOAT in terms of quality and breadth of miniatures. Page Rules has the power that it allows you to bring in other miniatures that you've played from other titles and use those in Page Rules. That is the culture that they've set for themselves. But they're also expanding out, and they're expanding out at a rate that is incredible.
It really is, yeah. Monthly new releases on their Patreon, online, STL files, print on demand.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they are able to release digital files allows them to create models faster and more diverse. So instead of being bogged down to a production cycle like 40K is, they can just release the digital models and have people print and play with those. So whilst 40K is untouched and still the GOAT in terms of model quality, detail, and how they build their lore into their miniatures, it's really exciting to see Page Rules ramp up. And they're actually very shortly releasing their first ever physical product, apart from the physical printed miniatures that you can get. They're releasing a starter set with actual plastic miniatures.
That's wild.
So you're going to see your first physical Page Rules plastic starter set with 2 full 2,000 point armies included. So that's a great way of doing it. And it's going to be interesting to see their foray into plastic miniatures.
All right, we've got miniatures, but what are miniatures without the lore behind them?
Literally nothing.
Nothing. Games Workshop, 40K, has decades, 4 decades to be precise, of lore. They've got hundreds of novels, codices, rule books, all sorts that build up this from the ground up, and this depth that you couldn't read in your entire life, honestly.
No, and even if you could, it'd be hard to find all of it.
Yeah.
In fact, we recently just did an episode on 40K lore, and you can go check that out on our second channel, link in the description. It's a podcast episode called Kill Team Lore, or
yes,
we haven't worked out what we're naming it yet, but yeah, we talk about the quality of the lore.
Yeah, it's so deep, and you can dive into one particular really niche topic, and it's paragraphs and paragraphs of lore, just about an interaction between a couple of characters on a ship or something like that.
Yeah, or what is a servitor, or what is their role?
Yeah. Page Rules, most of the lore early on, it was the 40K proxy game kind of thing, and they've really started diving into their own lore and fleshing that out. They've done writing jams where fans of the game contribute to the lore.
Very cool.
They'll enter a thing, and if you win the writing jam, you wrote the best piece of lore. That's canon.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Some of the homies in the Discord have entered into them. So that's just, as far as their model range goes as well, that's just getting more fleshed out every month. All new stories.
And we mentioned this on that same episode that we just referenced, where it's sort of like if you want a universe where everything is written for you and you can just immerse yourself in this universe that already exists, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, then that's 40K. But if you want something that at the moment is sort of like, we're writing the first sentence and you tell the rest of the story, that's where One Page Rules is at. So it also depends on what you're looking for in a lore. Some people don't want to be pigeonholed into having everything written for them.
No.
They'd probably prefer one-page rules. Some people are the opposite, and they're like, I want to know that this universe is so fleshed out that it could exist.
Yeah.
Then a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So if you like incredibly detailed miniatures, vast lore that spans over decades, and you want to play the only game you're going to play for the rest of your life because it's got so much layers to it, and you can overcome some of the outdated rules and cost associated with it. You want to play the most popular tabletop game in the entire world that has Amazon series being made for it and all of that stuff, then One Page Rules is the game for you. No, I'm just kidding. Then 40K is the game for you.
And if you want to be a part of a new game that's just skyrocketed in popularity over the last couple of years, you want to see the change happening before you, play with modern rules, play with a fresh take on wargaming, One Page Rules is the game for you. Free rules, the lowest cost of entry imaginable.
Yeah.
The best online builder, One Page Rules.
And something else I want to mention too is something that's been important for us is we love supporting individual indie gamers. And when we can talk to the creator of One Page Rules and have an open line with them and then be so excited about what the community is creating and what we're doing, there's a different level of attachment you have to a game like that than 40K that we have poured thousands of dollars into and felt like we constantly get thrown into the waste bin.
And probably thousands of hours too, right?
At least. So that's been important for us. But if you're a new gamer and you want to explore either of these titles, let us know. We have Discord channels for both of them.
Yeah.
And despite how we feel currently about some particular titles, we love that you're participating in wargaming in any capacity.
Yeah.
We love to see all the 40K stuff and One Page Rule stuff that people do in the Discord. So jump in there, link in the description below, or you can go to hobbyhomies.com and find all that stuff. We'd love to see you there no matter what you're doing, no matter what you choose. If you have more questions, there's a wealth. There's hundreds of people in our Discord ready to tell you their experience with both titles, their pros and cons. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Cheers.
River rolling down the river. Is that the song? Is it Rolling Down the River?
Rolling down the river. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Might be rolling on a river or something.
Oh, it feels like you're nitpicking at this point.
Yeah,
Churchy.
exactly. Come on, Churchy. Just
Rolling down the river?
yeah.
Is he wrong? Or am I wrong? Am I crazy?
I don't know.
Nah, he's wrong.
He's Googling it. Can you Google it?
Google
I
it,
can't
yeah,
continue. Yeah. I need to know.
Just rolling down the river.
He wrote Rolling on a River. It's confirmation bias, Churchy.
Rolling
through
on
the
a
river.